Hare Krishna Maharaj. I hope anyone.
Hare Krishna, Mike.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Raj, the sharing is on too, so you can go ahead and share screen as well. I turned it on.
Oh, I tweeted the YouTube link. It is the servant of the peacock.
Dhanka Prabhu, will you lead the Kirtan?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Peacock Das.
Abhiji, could you be my responder, please?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nevishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyade Sattarini.
Namaste Saraswati Deve
Prabhupada.
Gauravani Prajarine
Prabhupada.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Prabhupada.
Paschatyadesatarine.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Anya
Prabhu Nityananda
Ananda
Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Padita Pavana Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Padita Pavana Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Jai, all glories are devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So this Maharaj is already on PowerPoint. Okay.
Oh no, this is just database.io.
Oh, okay. We are ready for you, Maharaj.
Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gurabhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gurabhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Rupa Dutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vidati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sagaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishwaka Anvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gorangai Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So here is a little extract we would like to offer at the feet of all the Vaishnavas from Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the prologue, which is from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it was published about August 30th, 1896. So Srila Prabhupada, of course, was born, September 1st or something, 1896. So it's only a few days, 10th or something, 2 days right before Srila Prabhupada's appearance. Then it says, it was at the age of 14 or 15 that Mahaprabhu was married to Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi. And so she must have been quite a bit younger, no? 8 or 9 years old. The daughter of Balabhacharya, also of Nadia. He was at this age considered one of the best scholars of Nadia, the renowned seat of Nyaya, philosophy, and the Sanskrit learning. Nyaya and Sanskrit learning. Yeah. Not to speak of the Smarta Pandits, the Naiyayikas were afraid of confronting him in literary discussions. Being a married man, he went to eastern Bengal on the banks of the Padma for acquirement of wealth. There he displayed his learning and obtained a good sum of money. Actually, that was going to be some money, but also it was carpets, and people were so impressed and so satisfied with the education he was giving, questions he was answering, sometime with his followers, that he brought back, cartloads full of beautiful carpets and uh, brass goods, and matching sets of this and that, and so many things. And it was at this time he preached Vaishnavism at intervals. After teaching him the principles of Vaishnavism, he ordered Tapana Mishra to go and live in Benares. During his residence in eastern Bengal, his wife Lakshmi Devi left this world from the effects of a snake bite. On returning home, he found his mother in a mourning state. He consoled her with a lecture on the uncertainty of human affairs. It was his mother's request that he married Vishnupriya, the daughter of Raja Pandita Sanatan Mishra. So Raja Pandit, that means he was a Pandit of the Raja. But which Raja? His comrades joined him on his return from Pravasa, or sojourn. Okay. He was now so renowned that he was considered to be the best Pandit in Nadia. The best Pandit in Nadia, Keshava Mishra of Kashmir, who had called himself the great Digvijay, world conqueror, came to Nadia with a view to debate the Pandits of that place. Afraid of the so-called conquering Pandit, the total professors of Nadia left their town on the pretense of invitation. Keshava met Mahaprabhu at the Barokona Ghata in Mayapur. After a very short discussion with him, he got defeated by the boy, and mortification obliged him to decamp. This is all by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, being written for an audience in 1896. So in Bengal at that time, it appears that nobody knew Nimai or knew Lord Chaitanya so much. Of course, there's so many different kinds of philosophers and mystics and people like that in Bengal. One was when we were out near the airport for 1990s, 96 or Prabhupada's centennial anniversary festival. We were working there in an unfinished building on the second or third story. And at some distance, you could see the Lokababa light bulb factory. And he was apparently some guy with some mystical powers and different abilities and so on, or Satvik. But maybe Brahman realized. So same way when Bhakti Vinod Thakur was writing these things, how much did people know about Lord Chaitanya? And so he's presenting these things as very clear facts and evidence. But at the same time, too, I think he's presenting with people who, he's kind of saying, well, consider this. Nimai Pandit was now the most important Pandit of the times. Wow. It was at the age of 16 or 17 that he traveled to Goya, 16 or 17, with a host of his students, and there took his spiritual initiation from Ishvarapuri, a Vaishnava sannyasi and a disciple of the renowned Madhavendra Puri. Swadwaita, Nityananda, Ishwarapuri, they were all disciples of Madhavendra Puri. Upon his, so Nimai was surrounded by Madhavendra Puri's influence, and Govinda was servant of Ishwarapuri. Upon his return to Nadia, Nimai Pandit turned religious preacher, and his religious nature became so strongly represented, that Advaita Prabhu, Srivas, and others who had, before the birth of Chaitanya, already accepted the Vaishnava faith. That's how Bhakti Vinod Thakur describes it in 1896, the Vaishnava faith. Wow. We're astonished at the change in the young man. He was then no more a contending Nayayika, a wrangling Smarta, and a criticizing rhetorician. He swooned at the name of Krishna, 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 and behaved as an inspired man under the influence of his religious sentiment. It has been described by Murari Gupta, an eyewitness, that he showed his heavenly powers in the house of Srivas Pandit in the presence of hundreds of his followers who were mostly well-read scholars. So in Spanish, there's the word hacienda. I think the same thing, and people from India are familiar that a house, somebody's house. Now you think maybe you're lucky if you got 4 bedrooms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like Gordon was very lucky; he has 4 bedrooms. Yeah. So that's a very rich guy, big guy. Some few people have bigger houses, but before it was because the whole family lived there, extended family. So many brothers and uncles and great uncles and great grandparents and children, and the house could be redivided by different internal doorways and stuff could be um, kind of semi-permanently closed and giving over more space to the newlyweds with their new child, and older people retiring and giving rooms and nice big courtyards. So it was, having hundreds of people in a house like that was in some ways quite normal. People sitting everywhere, and they knew different people, so some would sit on the balcony with their friends and their cousins and so forth, so on. Yeah. He showed his heavenly powers in the house of Srivasa Pandit in the presence of hundreds of his followers who were mostly well-learned scholars, well-read scholars. It was at this time that he opened a nocturnal school of kirtan in the compound of Srivas Pandit. In the compound of Srivas Pandit. With his sincere followers, there he preached, there he sang, there he danced, singing, preaching, singing, dancing, and there he expressed all sorts of religious feelings. Nityananda Prabhu, who was then a preacher of Vaishnavism and who had completed his travels all over India, joined him at that time. In fact, a host of Pandit preachers of Vaishnavism, all sincere at heart, came and joined him from different parts of Bengal. Nadia now became the regular seat of a host of Vaishnavacharyas whose mission it was to spiritualize mankind with the highest influence of the Vaishnava creed. The first mandate that he issued to Prabhu Nityananda in Haridas was this. The first mandate that he issued. Go, friends, go through the streets of the town, meet every man at his door, and ask him to sing the name of Hari with a holy life, chant Hare Krishna and follow the four principles. And then come and report to me every evening the results of your preaching. Thus ordered, the two preachers went out, and met Jagai and Madai, the two most abominable characters in Nadia. These two insulted the preachers on hearing Mahaprabhu's mandate, but were soon converted by the influence of bhakti inculcated by their Lord. The people of Nadia were now surprised. They said, Nimai Pandit is not only a gigantic genius, but is certainly a missionary from God Almighty. From this point to his 23rd year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached his principles not only in Nadia, but in all the important towns and villages around his city. In the houses of his followers, he showed miracles, taught the esoteric principles of bhakti, and sang his sankirtan with other bhaktas. His followers in the town of Nadia commenced to sing the holy name of Hari in the streets and bazaars. This created a sensation and roused the different feelings in different quarters. The bhaktas were highly pleased. The smarta Brahmins became jealous of Nimai Pandit's success and complained to Chand Kazi against the character of Chaitanya, claiming he was un-Hindu. The Kazi came to Srivas Pandit's house and broke a mridanga, kola drum, there, and declared that unless Nimai ceased to make noise about his queer religion, he would be obliged to enforce Mohammedanism, 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 like it's hard to say, huh? Mohammedanism on him and his followers. This was brought to Mahaprabhu's notice. He ordered the townspeople to appear in the evening, each with a torch in his hand. This they did, and Nimai marched out with his Sankirtan divided into 14 groups. On his arrival in the Kazi's house, he held a long conversation with the Kazi, and in the end communicated into his heart his Vaishnava influence by touching his body. The Kazi then wept and admitted that he had felt a keen spiritual influence which had cleared up his doubts and produced in him a religious sentiment that gave him the highest ecstasy. The Kazi then joined the Sankirtan party. The world was astonished at the spiritual power of the great Lord, and hundreds of heretics converted and joined the banner of Vishvambar after this affair. It was after this that some of the jealous and low-minded Brahmanas of Kulia picked a quarrel with Mahaprabhu and collected a party to oppose him. Nimai Pandit was naturally a soft-hearted person, though strong in his principles. He declared that party feelings and sectarianism were the two great enemies of progress. Party feelings and sectarianism. And he saw that as long as he should continue to be an inhabitant of Nadia, belonging to a certain family, his mission would not meet with complete success. He then resolved to be a citizen of the world by cutting off his connection with his particular family, caste, and creed. Family, caste, and creed. And with this resolution, he embraced the position of a sannyasi at Katwar under the guidance of Keshava Bharati of that town. In the 24th year of his life, his mother and wife wept bitterly for his separation. But our hero, though soft in heart, was a strong person in his principles. He left his little world in his house for the unlimited spiritual world of Krishna with man in general. After his sannyas, he was induced to visit the house of Advaita Prabhu in Shantipur. He was induced to visit the house of Advaita Prabhu in Shantipur. Advaita managed to invite all of Mahaprabhu's friends and admirers from Nadia, and brought Sachi Devi to see her son. Who's the one person who could not go? Vishnu Priya! Everybody else could see him. Even the most fallen persons could see him. Only Vishnu Priya could not see him. Both pleasure and pain invaded her heart when she saw her son in the attire of a sannyasi. Pleasure and pain. As a sannyasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put on nothing but a kopan and bahirvas, outer covering, like a gamsha, swimming trunks. His head was without hair. His hands bore a danda, stick, and kamandalu, hermit's water pot. The holy son fell at the feet of his beloved mother and said, "Mother, this body is yours, and I must obey your orders. Permit me to go to Vrindavan for my spiritual attainments." The mother, in consultation with Advaita and others, asked her son to reside in Puri, the town of Jagannath, so that she might obtain news of him now and then. Mahaprabhu agreed to that proposition and in a few days left Shantipur for Orissa. His biographers have described the journey of Krishna Chaitanya, that was the name he got after his sannyasa, from Shantipur to Puri in great detail. He traveled along the side of the Bhagirati as far as Chhatrabhoga, situated now in Tana, Mathura, Pura, Diamond Harbor, 24 paraganas. Therefore, he took a boat and went as far as Prayaghat in the Midnapur district. As he walked through Balasur and Kutak to Puri, seeing the temple of Bhuvaneshwar on his way. Upon his arrival at Puri, he saw Jagannath in the temple and resided with Sarvabhauma at the request of the latter. So I don't know how many days it is. How many days is it walking from Nadia, Navadvip to Puri? It was like 2 weeks or something, walking every day. Sarvabhauma was a gigantic pundit of the day. His readings knew no bounds. He was the best Nyayika of the times and one is known as the most erudite scholar in the Vedanta philosophy of the school of Shankara. He was born in Nadia, Vidyanagar, and taught innumerable pupils in the Nyaya philosophy in his tola there. He had left for Puri some time before the birth of Nimai Pandit. His brother-in-law, Gopinath Mishra, introduced our new sannyasi to Sarvabhauma, who was astonished at his personal beauty and feared it would be difficult for the young man to maintain sannyasa dharma during the long run of his life. Gopinath, who had known Mahaprabhu from Nadia, had a great reverence for him and declared that the sannyasi was not a common being. On this point, Gopinath and Sarvabhauma had a hot discussion. Sarvabhauma then requested Mahaprabhu to hear his recitation of the Vedanta Sutras, to which the latter tacitly submitted. Chaitanya heard with silence what the great Sarvabhauma uttered with gravity for 7 days, at the end of which the latter said, Krishna Chaitanya, I think you do not understand the Vedanta, as you do not say anything after hearing my recitations and explanations. The reply of Chaitanya was that he understood the sutras very well, but he could not make out what Shankaracharya meant by his commentaries. Astonished at this, Sarvabhauma said, how is it that you understand the meanings of the sutras, but do not understand the commentaries which explain the sutras? Oh, well, if you understand the sutras, please let me have your interpretations. Prabhu there explained all the sutras in his own way without touching the pantheistic commentaries of Shankara. The keen understanding of Sarvabhauma saw the truth, beauty, and harmony of the arguments and the explanations given by Chaitanya, and obliged him to utter that it was the first time he had found one who could explain the Brahma Sutras in such a simple manner. He also admitted that the commentary of Shankara never gave such natural explanations of the Vedanta Sutras as those he had obtained from Mahaprabhu. He also admitted that the commentaries of Shankara never gave such natural explanations of Vedanta Sutras. Sarvabhauma then submitted himself as an advocate and follower. In a few days, he turned out to be one of the best Vaishnavas of the time. The report of this came out, the whole of Orissa sang the praises of Krishna Chaitanya, and hundreds came to him and became his followers. In the meantime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought of visiting southern India, and he started with one Krishnadas Brahmana for the journey. Maybe we can stop here for today. It's such a nice, wonderful, short biography of Lord Chaitanya. There's another one, which is TLC is so complete. Again, Prabhupada was not planning on translating the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, but there is the let me see. There is a prologue or something like an introduction or something, which was a lecture delivered over 5 days, which Prabhupada gave us an introduction to the life of Lord Chaitanya. And so these fantastic little booklets and little documents are there, one after another. So any comments or questions about Gaur Purnima and Lord Chaitanya? Your microphone is closed.
Nadia to Jagannath Puri is 625 kilometers.
What's the distance?
625 kilometers.
So how many kilometers can you go in one day?
Mahaprabhu can do one day.
But him with his friends.
Maybe
Maybe 50 kilometers a day is a lot, probably, no?
Probably. How many you were doing on Parikrama, Maharaj?
Well, we would do, I think, 10 miles a day or something. Yeah, maybe 10 kilometers a day or something. 10 to
10 miles
15.
now.
Yeah, 10 to 15.
Yeah,
Was.
10 miles equal to 16 kilometers, Maharaj. 10 miles equal to 16 kilometers, Maharaj.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah? 1.6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think 15 kilometers would be like really a long journey, but 10 would be kind of short. But we were
Yeah.
stopping along the way for so many things too, you know. So maybe 20 kilometers a day, then into 660 becomes 33 days, right?
For a month, yeah. But
About one
Mahaprabhu
month.
used to come and have offering of Sachi Mata whenever she called for him and eat.
Yeah, but he came through the wormholes. He used the subway.
Yeah, he did not.
Ardamuni used the subway. He travels around the universe.
Yeah. Sachi Mata will be bewildered. What happened? Our plate is empty. I did not cook. I did not offer. What happened? Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah. So it shows that this is how, um, if we're stuck on this one plane of existence of gross materialism, then we see all these deaths and separations and destructions and all these things. But as we become more purified, we realize that there's so many, different ways of being connected with people, very practical, you know, and then then we're always in touch, no separation. But uh, Prabhuji, like Horst Sundardas, when you first got it, when was your first contact with Murari and the deities there, Purnatai? Were they installed after you were visiting
no, they
Murari?
were still a long time before me. Before.
Okay.
Yeah,
So when did you
they
first?
were here in 90s sometime.
Ah,
Not 80s, not in 90s, man, 80s. Even they had a Gurukula here.
oh,
Bhakti Tirtha Prabhu was he was a headmaster or something. Yeah, it came a
okay.
long time back, man.
When did you come to Murfreesboro?
87.
87.
So
And so,
we went there in summer of spring of
so
87. Yeah,
spring.
yeah.
What for? Was it a festival or just a
No,
visit?
we wanted to go and find out. Took about
Okay.
3 hours to find the place.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of construction going on then, no?
And then not much concern, but they were proper and they were nice to go to there. So we
Wow.
thought,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
They made so many mistakes in these rural projects, that don't make anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. Now devotees are when in Texas, was a 4,000 acre project or something, no? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That you mean in the Do Maharaj project?
Yeah, so many people went, Guru Prasad Swami, Radhika Raman went there for the opening. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they already started
They
building.
already had a project, but I understand now it's much bigger. It's much bigger, and it's like rings. Like in the outer ring you're going to be vegetarian, then the next ring you're going to be something else, and as it closes in, it becomes like more and more intense. But in that way, accommodates so many people, and who are going to participate and take up, the standard more and more. So yeah.
But as you said, it's from nowhere. I don't know which is the close airport.
Well, I think it's accessible. It's some distance. That's the whole idea. Is to say it's designed as already going and stuff, and it's designed from the very beginning with a model for a lot of people to get involved and stuff. Accessible. But when the devotees got the property in South India, somebody donated or something, no? And there may be like 5 villages on the property, and they asked Prabhupada how to develop it. Should they have a big Radha Krishna temple and all these things? And Prabhupada said, no, 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 no. He said, and every anybody is welcome on our land, who follows the four principles and doesn't cause a disturbance. His only thing. You follow the four principles and don't cause a disturbance, and okay, then you're welcome to find some place in our land like that.
That was Hyderabad project, right?
Yeah.
So
And
what is going on with that project now?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
hear
Maybe
much.
no, I think maybe it may have changed or something happened quite drastically.
Harivallavi, do you know what is going on there?
Where, Prabhu? The Goshala?
Yeah, there was a farm. It was donated
Yeah,
Prabhupada time and there.
yeah, it's still there. We have Krishna Balaram deities and Gaur Nitai deities, and there are many cows. But I think the land is a smaller land than what they were given earlier.
Yeah.
The relatives claimed their share, so the temple got a smaller share of the land, is what I heard
Yeah,
from the
yeah. Maybe like
devotees.
20% of what they originally had.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Prabhupada said that they should go ahead and they should have in every one of the little villages, they should have a small temple. And somebody who was more inclined will come back from working in the fields a little bit earlier, take his bath and open the place up and get it ready. And then everybody should be encouraged that whatever they were cooking in their house, they should bring the pots, to the temple. And then the pujari would take a little bit from each pot and then offer it to some simple deity. And then they would have kirtan, you know. And he said that that alone was enough to be made full spirituality, offering their food and then chanting Hare Krishna together. And he said then you would see that everybody could see what everybody else was eating, you know. And he said that would get rid of all the envy. Everybody's seeing, oh, this is what they're eating, this is what I'm eating. Then people may say, oh, this man is eating better, this family is eating better than we are. We have, but they work a lot harder too. Okay, let them eat a little better, you know. Yeah, yeah. So very, very simple like that.
So, Maharaj, I have a couple of. Yesterday was Madhavendra Puri disappearance day. We did not talk anything about it.
Wow.
So, you want to say something, few words about Madhavendra Puri?
I mean, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's so much, nice descriptions of him, his activities and pastimes, and somehow or other, he met Nityananda, of course, a long time before Nityananda came back to Nadia, and they're traveling all over the world looking for a Vaishnava of your quality. Again, it's like maybe like was Magnus Carlsen, whatever it is. He's like one of the greatest chess players who ever lived. You know. And so he's going around playing people. Then finally he finds somebody who is just as clever as he is, and oh God, my life is complete. So Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri were traveling all over the place and preaching, and when they found each other, it was just incredible. And apparently, a very, very natural relationship between Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri was his, disciple and guru. Of course, Madhavendra Puri may very well have realized, the position of Lord Nityananda, but this is the formality, everything else. So he started talking about Krishna consciousness, about the absolute truth, back and forth. And it became so ecstatic that the disciples of Madhavendra Puri and Nityananda, the followers, uh, could not distinguish if it was day or night. And that's pretty ecstatic. It just completely lost track of whether it was day or nighttime. And they went on for like, several days without any kind of break. We have some Krishna Katha, but after maybe like 5 hours, we want to, go go for a break and have a little fresh air and buy some ice cream or something, something. So that's only what I remember, and this is so ecstatic. And then, of course, other pastimes too. Other people can also talk about them. But he's a very, very, very special personality. And of course, at the end of his life, he was that I Dina Dayarda Nata Hey. He composed this fantastic verse in the separation of Radharani. Before Lord Chaitanya, there was Chandidas and Vidyapati. I mean, quite some time before, and Jayadev, and they also were, promoting consciousness of Radha and Krishna. You know, but Madhavendra Puri was the first time that it appeared within our disciplic succession. You know. Other than that, we're appreciating it from other groups. You know.
Thank you, Maharaj. Anyone? So tomorrow we'll be discussing. Although Maharaj has given us synopsis of Mahaprabhu's life today, but tomorrow we'll discuss your favorite pastime, Mahaprabhu's life. And
Oh,
so, any other comments or questions from Maharaj? It is a little getting late for Maharaj. So
You like my halo? I like my
yeah,
halo.
yeah.
I can make it disappear. I think it comes and goes. It kind of comes and goes, which is like my consciousness. Yeah,
Anyone? Any comments? Any question for Maharaj? Would he
yeah,
discuss about Mahaprabhu?
yeah.
No, no question, no comment. So
Very
Maharaj, and
good.
I have one question.
Okay, here it is. What in Spanish would be called la última pregunta, the ultimate question. What is the ultimate question?
Reading this Chaitanya Chandamritam by Prabodhananda Saraswati, he has 141 verses in here, and one he said, Gaura Chanda Prasadastu Vaikunthe Sudurlabham. However, Sri Gaurachandra's mercy is very rarely achieved. How is that possible? Mahaprabhu is so accessible. So why did he write that, Maharaj?
Well, I mean, maybe the exact Sanskrit gives a little bit different perspective. Yeah. Maybe,
Gaurachandra, they said Vaikuntha, when it is Sudurlabham, rarely achieved even by resident of Vaikuntha.
I mean, one interpretation would be not that Lord Chaitanya's mercy is very rarely achieved, but the mercy that Lord Chaitanya is giving, Krishna Prema, is very,
Okay.
very rarely achieved.
Yeah, Maharaj, there's some explanation here. Mukti is obtained by spiritual discipline and path of Jnana. Bhakti is obtained by pleasing Supreme Lord Sri Hari. The priceless gift of prema one received by the mercy of Sri Gauranga is, however, extremely rare even in Vaikuntha.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that may be true.
Yeah, it's very rarely, what he's giving is very rarely achieved. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift, his mercy, is very rarely achieved. But it doesn't mean he's not giving it out freely. You know? Yeah. I mean, what can we say? I mean, how many, Christianity is not giving this, Islam is not giving this as far as I've seen.
But
Hinduism in general, so many sampradayas are not giving this.
we're
But
not
here,
we were not even taught about that. We were taught about go to temple, good, so that
yeah,
you pass the exam with
yeah. And
position and good job.
but Lord Chaitanya, like was saying today, that Chand Kazi,
Yeah.
Drinking, eating, killing animals, everything else, right and left, back and forth, and he was experiencing, the subtlety and the intimacy and the elevation, and the purity, how supreme purity of the position of the gopis. Yeah, yeah, very, very, very rare, but people are experiencing it.
So, final call. Any comments from Maharaj? Anything you want to hear from Maharaj?
Thank you all very, very much. We'll
Maharaj. So tomorrow, please be ready to glorify Mahaprabhu. And then Sunday, the whole local will go to Murari. Abhayji, are you coming to Murari?
No.
No, you're not coming. So, okay, so let's see. Tanvir Prabhu is not coming either. So there's all local people here. I don't know.
I guess we have to bring some prasadam back with us.
Yeah, we'll have to. Okay, so with that, so we'll be tomorrow. We'll have a discussion about the Mahaprabhu. So with that, we can have Vaishnava Pranam, Narsinga prayer. Who wants to do the Narsinga prayer tonight? Darshana, when you want to do that? Narsinga prayer? Nope.
Nobody, and I will do that, Prabhuji.
Oh, they got it.
I couldn't get in. I'm sorry. I could not unmute myself.
Okay,
Yes,
go ahead.
I'd love to. Thank you. Tanu Prabhu, would you like to do it?
No, go ahead, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Namaste Narsingaya Prahlad Daine Hiranyakashi पूवक्षः श्रीलताङ्का नखालाये इतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यामित तो नरसिंहो बाहिर्नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवद्वीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुत शृङ्गार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवद्वीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रीला प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवाय जय गुरुदेवाय जय गुरुदेवाय जय गुरुदेवाय नरसिंह भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू
So with that, close for program for tonight, and let's have Vaishnav Pranam.
Vanchakalpatarubhyasha kripa
Vanchakalpatarubhyasha
sindhuvaiva cha
kripa
patithanam pavanebhyo
Patithanam
vaishnavebhyo namo
pavanebhyo
namaha.
Nam Sunebyo
Hare
Vaishnavebyo
हरे कृष्णा
Hare
थैंक यू
Krishna,
महाराज
Hare Krishna,
Thank you so
थैंक यू
much,
महाराज
Maharaj.
हरे
Hare Krishna
कृष्णा
Maharaj.
हरे
Your
कृष्णा
Vani is so wonderful.
थैंक
Nimai.
हरे कृष्णा